Yes, thank you for standing by. This is to Mainland 98.3 FM, and you are still on to the Morning Express. It's time for Mainland Focus. My name is Mᴜsɪᴜ Sandra for her side will be joining us any moment from now, and we have two focal points that we're going to be discussing this morning. One taken from The Guardian and the other taken from Vanguard newspaper. The first story we'll be looking at is as regards the major headline on the front page of The Guardian, which is as regards the making of human rights abuse haven, Nigeria's bad human rights record. We'll be looking at that. And the second is from Vanguard newspaper, looking at the statement from Mr. Briggs, or Chief Briggs, saying that the president intimidated Governor Fubara into signing the peace accord or peace deal, however it is that one you put it. We'll start with the first story, that is Nigeria's bad human rights. Apologies for that. Nigeria's bad human rights record. How bad is the situation of human rights abuse in Nigeria, and what is the major factor for the high level of human rights abuse? As it is now, the National Human Rights Commission, according to this report, is operationally weak, even when the enabling law setting it up has been further boosted and endowed with more powers and funds to work. The commission, which operates just like a typical civil service office as against what it is set up to do, is not proactive and does not specifically or practically very little by way of pursuing justice for victims of human rights. It ought to act as a police and protection brigade for human rights, but that has not been the case. So what do you think is the major factor for the bad level of human rights abuse that we're experiencing in Nigeria? And what would you say is the role of our leaders, the political class, the elites, security operators? Because apparently the police are, are at the forefront as perpetrators of rights abuse violation. You have situation of brutality, corruption, use of excessive force during arrest. For what I don't know, have you seen someone being arrested before? I have, and it's almost like the police has already done judge, jury, and executioner at that point in time. The person is already guilty.
Judicial killing. You have cases where it's like judicial killing. Someone has been arrested, and eventually,
and then person dies in custody. That's another case.
So many cases.
That's another case. People just, people are arrested, and then the family members are going and they are looking for the body of their family member that was supposedly arrested for, something that whether or not no justice has not been done, no law has taken its course or anything. So there's, also torture, extortion, harassments of citizens, from security operators. So we're asking, how bad is the situation of human rights abuse and violation in Nigeria, and what is the major factor for the bad level of human rights abuse, and what would you say is the role of our leaders, the political class, the elites, and security operatives in these human rights violations? And also the judiciary, what role would they have to play in this particular situation? The second focal point is taken from Vanguard newspaper, and that is as regards the Rivers State crisis. So on page 25, according to former Commissioner for Water Resources in Rivers State, that is Chief David Briggs, who was at the meeting. He attended this meeting. He attended. He was there. He was there. The allegation here now is as regards the fact that he claims or alleges that President Tinubu intimidated Governor Fubara into signing the 8-point peace resolution with Wike. And Chief Briggs said Governor Fubara signed the resolution under duress, following alleged indirect threats issued by President Tinubu before handing him the document to sign. So he said, and I quote, "I was there, so I am a witness, and what I say is primary, not secondary. We were invited for a meeting, but that was not a meeting. What happened was that Mr. President walked in with a written resolution, addressed us, and declared that what he has in his hand is a presidential proclamation, and emphasized and emphasized the fact that he is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and anybody who dares to say no to what he's saying would face the consequences. He said, and I'm still quoting, that in a simple layman's word is called a threat. Let's get it very clear. If you are in the position of the governor, what will you do? Will you get up and say no to Mr. President with that kind of subtle but energetic threat? So he said this. He said that most Rivers people who were present at the meeting, including Tɣᴇ Aᴊɪṕᴜ were shocked. Aᴊɪṕᴜ were shocked at the president's attitude and decided to ask questions. So he continued. He said, and I quote, "That being the case, one of us asked him," that's Mr. President, "a simple question. To be specific, Tɣᴇ Aᴊɪṕᴜ asked him, you said SIM should do this, governor should do that. You have not said what the 25 or 27 assembly members that defected without consulting their constituencies and constituents should do. And of course, you can see the situation. The president's reaction was very clear and simple, but very dangerous." It's interesting. So that's coming from Chief David Briggs, who was at the meeting himself.
Allegedly.
What he has said.
What I'm saying is that he's claiming.
No. I'm saying that the statement is from Chief Briggs. This statement, that's what I'm saying. That the statement is from Chief David Briggs, who was at the meeting and alleging that this was the scenario.
It was what transpired
at the meeting. Yes, that's it. So Fuad, how does this threaten the fundamentals of constitutional democracy in Nigeria? If it is true, how should Fubara address this issue, and what is the role of Rivers people on this particular issue? There are so many things that I would have loved to add to all of those questions. But Fuad, you have the floor just very quickly. So because I feel like it's already
1 minute. I know the Sandra. On the first issue, I think we should just commit to the rule of law, and we expect better behaviors from our security operatives. Most likely, maybe we need to train and retrain, and also look at our recruitment process.
Reforms.
But I think the reforms, recruitment process, and every other thing that goes with the psychology of managing our security structure. And also, we need to talk to our political class, the so-called VIPs, our elite, who a lot of times use this instrument of the law, to violate the rights of people. So to be above board, you don't see these things abroad. Like I said, it's only in Nigeria you hear the rich man say, So I just hope that it's just about us committing to the rule of law. If we are committed and deliberate about the rule of law, we have drastic reductions in the violations of human rights. That's on one part. Now there's a question Mr. Briggs asked about what do you expect Fubara to do? Sandra, I know Nigerians that are alive today that would never sign that in, even with a bigger threat from the president. I know Nigerians that will most likely walk out on the president and down the consequence. If indeed that was what transpired, just listen to me. If truly that was what transpired, and no more will not even attend that meeting to start with. And if by accident, omission or whatever, he attends a meeting and the president addressed him that way, he will never sign that document. Sandra, he gave some Wike when he was governor, will not attend the meeting, and if he attends and is addressed that way, I know he will never sign. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he was governor of Lagos State, with the battles he had with Tᴜɪᴜnᴜ Mᴏʟᴏ as president on the independence of the state structure, the creation of local government, the way he fought it to a standstill, he will not attend the meeting, and if he does, out of respect to the president, and is addressed that way, he will not sign that letter, that resolution.
Yeah.
And then he now answer your question.
Okay.
What if it is true that was really what transpired at that meeting? That directing of the president, because we now have what's called a presidential proclamation.
Yes, so.
It does not only threaten the fundamentals of our democracy, it rubbishes it completely. And that's why I'm asked, why would have been nice for us to ask the president, but sir, we knew what you stood for and what you have always stood for, what you have always preached about the respect for the rule of law, about us upholding constitutional democracy, right from the days of MKO Abiola. Even a lot of people know that he started as a senator. And the fact that, look, when the election was announced at that time, you went into the trenches, fighting for the return of democracy in Nigeria. And even while he was governor from 1999 to 2007, his mantra was always respect for the rule of law, the independence of the judiciary, and true federalism. And so it would have been done to ask the president that, look, if what Mr. Biggs has said is true, sir, is this the democracy you are fighting for? Or now that you are president, something has changed. You now understand democracy in a different way. That would have been the question I would have loved to ask the president if I have the chance. So I think the issue at that, Sandra.
Thank you very much, Said Fuhad. Well, there you have it. Those are our focal points for this morning. Interesting days ahead, especially as regards the Rivers State crisis. More revelations seems to be coming on, even as most of the agreements on the 8-point peace deal is yet to be implemented. But then the two focal points we have for this morning, the major headline on the front page of The Guardian, which is as regards Nigeria's bad human rights record, and the second is President intimidated Fubara, says Chief David Briggs, former Commissioner for Water Resources in Rivers State. Now, what are your thoughts? How does this threaten the fundamentals of constitutional democracy? I mean, we have a statement here that was allegedly made by the president, and that's what Chief David is saying, that no one dares him, and this is a presidential declaration. That's allegedly what the president said, according to Chief David Briggs. So if this is true, how should FUBAR address this issue, and what is the role of Rivers people on this issue? 0913 6000 410, 0913 6000 410. That is the number to call. For text messages and WhatsApp messages is 0913 6000 430. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. You can drop your comments there as well. And please do well to like, share, and also follow us on our social media platforms. Would really appreciate it. So we are live. Thank you to everyone who is already with us. Well, we are live on Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM and on YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. So you can drop your comments on there as well, and we'll also take them live on air. Thank you very much. We have just 2 minutes. Let's go straight to the point. Let's keep things clean. Let's keep things civil. We'll start with the phone lines. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Idimo.
All right, Emmanuel, please go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the agreement between Fubara and our president.
Yes.
I don't think Fubara is not a key. So Fubara have rights to decide what he's supposed to do as a president, as a governor. So all these ones are maybe debating a governor to do what he's not supposed to do. I don't believe that, because Fubara is not a kid. He's a matured man. So that's what I want to contribute.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Alex.
All right, Mr. Alex, please go on.
I'm calling from Asboro.
All right, Mr. Alex.
What we should understand in this issue of real estate, without House of Assembly, there is no democracy. During military era, the house is always put on hold. Now, what Fubara is doing, if we allow it to sustain, is an indication that there is no democracy in Rivers State. And for me, if you look at it holistically, the intervention of the Mr. President is very hard for now. If it was during Obasanjo, he could have you could have proclaimed state of emergency in that state, because you can't. The symbol of democracy is the house. So if you put the house on hold and you allow the house not to sit, there's an indication that you want to be in a dictatorial situation. So for me, the Fᴜᴜ knows what he's doing. That's why he's playing along, and that's why he's keying into the current issue now. So that's what I want to say about it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alex. I appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Oh my God, thank God.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
How are you today?
Well, thank you.
Mr. Fuad, morning to you.
Oh, he's with us.
Okay. You see, this is about of it. For me, I don't pass for politics. Sandra,
Yes.
don't be surprised. See this man tomorrow, now APC governor. Now, a governor of the state. You get to go his friend. You short that agreement. If our him, a man like me, what I do was I will never stand anything if you are not cooperating. What I'm talking about? If he elect tomorrow, the war is between them. All these people we are talking about, are they not easy job for River State? For me, my power today, those who speak to on his behalf, I don't trust them. Let Wabara come out tomorrow that tie under duress. He was telling Nigeria that no amount of money is too much to pay for a peace. And we want peaceful rivers. Mᴜsɪᴄ we know it's a Democrat. And if they say he's threatening this man, maybe this man has skeleton in his cupboard. Maybe he has the agreement in Wike, and I don't know what they are doing. That's why we want Nigerian journalists to have a reporter. That's why it has feel this governor. What is agreement? You have an agreement in Wike when you are casting laws. You don't put on your head to sign this thing. If this man now say I stand under duress, it means not capable to rule that state. It's taken out. What I'm talking about. That he just will enter so rough and don't come out from mountain rough. Don't you know it's a slap on the face of Mr. President. So this man for our hit and turn on my gun. This thing that is time now, if we chicken out tomorrow,
thank you,
if we elect, it means it's not what to do, governor. Good morning, sir.
All right. Oh, thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, Professor Kubu. Oh, same.
I saw a man, a 16-year-old policeman, drunk, was misbehaving with the gun, shooting gun to Okada people, and his police was saying drunk. He said, I wanted to collect that gun. Maybe Nigeria would say, I want to collect that gun to start selling. A policeman got convicted 8 o'clock and was misbehaving. That's number two. Concerning the human rights, Nigeria is the number one worst human rights abuser. Yes, according to me, and it's true. Even of them to build strong institutions, they are not building strong men, which is resulting to oligarchy. For example, why did Ryan Mohammed slam $5 million for anybody who talks something for radio? But it is the same God that gives them which is power. It is the same media that gives them APC side, side. Hey, side. No, you don't give them. Now they're planning $5 million. Now they're going to use the $5 million. Now my God may say they are not abusing of our rights. That's number one. Number two. If those 27 defected lawmakers saying that it is because of the secretary of PDP National Amalgam defect, if they go back to PDP, telling if Nigeria is autocracy, dictatorship, which is government of two authorities, which is not our Nigerian constitution, if those 27 lawmakers enter PDP again, you know, say Nigeria is a Sodom and Gomorrah, Nigeria is a Babylon, is a planet.
It's okay.
Are you hearing me? No. But it's what I talk 3 minutes ago. If they try it, Nigeria is a corner. That means they're not accepting. PDP should start talking. They should not talk like a toothless and truthful bulldogs like a level. PDP should stand on their ground. No human being in the past Nigerian law
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No president pass Nigerian law. But I don't want to go to the state Nigerian law. We want in the interest of the river people in this scenario, in this glaucoma, in this economic matters that is happening. What is river's interest?
Thank you. Thank you.
We don't go.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate. 0913600410. Don't forget we are live on Facebook. We're also awaiting your messages. You can drop your messages on Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM, and you can drop messages as well on WhatsApp and text message. We're also taking on those platforms as well. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. Time check is 2 minutes gone past 9. All right. Let's have a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sandra, good morning.
Good morning.
Joe from Barigoni.
Okay.
Sandra, let us stop discussing about these politicians. Here. Let us discuss about this our yellow type, please. Where rice cheap? Where will we go buy rice? Where they cheap? Where will we go buy chicken? Where they cheap?
Okay.
Look this politician case we came with Fᴜᴜᴜ with look, we are tired of these politicians, I beg. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, we'll try to keep you up to speed as we've been doing that all week anyways, but we appreciate, we just need to talk about these things. One way or the other, it affects us as a whole, as a country, as a nation. It affects us, even if it is happening in far away one state, but it affects us because here we're asking this question as regards what is going on in Rivers. How does this affect our democracy as a country? Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Peter.
Thank God it's Friday. Peter Monsefo.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, my sister, we are talking about the abuse of human rights. Is what Tinubu did, is that not an abuse of human rights? That Fubara has the right to govern his people because he was voted for. And now you say you want to broker peace. You come up with a paper and you say this is a presidential declaration. When we are not in the military rule, even if it is the military rule, they will take the matter to Supreme Military Council for discussion. They will not, the commander-in-chief will not just say, oh, you, the administrator in Ondo State, this is my decision, you have to do this. That's a threat to democracy, one. And for me, I think that is terrorism because he terrorized the governor according to BRICS and other people. Can we accept that? Should we accept that? Will we accept that? Something that used to have, see, the military in their era, they catch me on the road, and all that they say is I show them my ID card, they saw ITT Nigeria Limited, that Abiola was the chairman, and they say, hey, now you got to trouble this country, and that was how they catch me and put me on the line to go and put me in Black Maria, and they escaped. That, we can say that's the military. Do you know that last week, there is a man that has a hotel near where my office is, and there is a gutter behind the fence that demarcates between our side and his place. The man just came and cleared the gutter, and the next thing he said no, he blocked the channel that comes from some compound into that gutter. He said because now he removed the gutter, and when the people removed that block of their channel, the man just went to Lugbeju and bring police station, or sorry, police. And when the police came, they didn't ask any question. They tell people you are under arrest, you will follow us to the station. And I asked, what have we done? They said, until you reach the station. Until you reach the station. Now, should that be happening in Nigeria? That up to today. And the part I hear that day, when they say our Marwa should pack because he did not give them the 200 naira. And the man said, look, call the owner of this Marwa and tell him that it is me Kende that arrest you must give me the money. And when I told they took the gun, is that not human right abuse? Must we continue like this? Ogami Fuad. When next you want to tell us something, Sister Sandra, please let us see what should ordinary Nigerians do in a situation like this. Because the police is supposed to defend the human right is violating. The president that is supposed to defend the human right is violating. So what can the common man do? I want to hear the solution on what we should do. Otherwise, this is becoming unbearable. So that we don't drift into anarchy that nobody will be able to take care of. Yeah. Thank you. And have a nice
And you as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Peter. I mean, that's why we're having this conversation. That's why we're asking this question this morning. 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call to share your thoughts as regards the two focal points that we have on the table this morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. I didn't get that. Please come again. Your name? Your name? Oseni from Cᴏᴜᴅ. Fouad is not here with us, but he's listening, so carry on.
Okay. My contribution is on the River State crisis. So I just want to check everything. You know that River crisis, so many hands are taken with that. First of all, I want to blame the PDP.
Okay.
PDP before the 2023 election, Mᴜsɪᴄ is fighting his own party. They go openly and campaign against that party. But instead of the almighty PDP we know before, to discipline that man, to start around to that party, allow him to see what happened. So Zara is very aware. It's very aware that Mᴜsɪᴄ will not allow him to work as a government 100%. But he went ahead because of his selfish interest to take that position. So after that one, for the first time in the history of the world, you have somebody in Abuja who is controlling, who wanted to control both the ruling party and the opposition party, the River State. Yeah. So an opposition is democracy. I can tell you that the champion of democracy is opposition. Anywhere there is no opposition, then there is no democracy. Because they will allow the ruling party, to manipulate everybody. So here comes the PDP has to stand and show themselves as a strong political opposition party in Nigeria. To deal with that, they should not allow that 26 members to come back to that party. They should never allow them. Let them go to anywhere. They never allow them to return to that party. So the election was held.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, okay, so we appreciate, but we'll take a short break to take from the calls, not from the show, to read messages from our Facebook page. We have messages already on our Facebook live stream. So we have here Olumuyiwa saying, good morning, Mainland FM. Mr. Fouad, it seems you have been disappointed with the posture of Mr. President regarding democracy and civil rule. I'm just happy that we're all alive to see that most of these advocates of democracy and civil rule during military era were not sincere in intention, but just looking for opportunity to get political power for nothing. This democracy can't take us anywhere, as no politician, whether ruling or opposition, means well for the people and to develop this society. It is not the fault of Mr. President if he intervened in Rivers crisis in that manner. But delegates should also help the situation by stopping the habit of collecting dollars in primary elections so that we won't have wrong people in political offices again. And that is Muiwa from Abuja sharing his own contribution. I also have here from Real One Oludare Musa. Excuse me. It is very unfortunate that we're all witnessing what is happening in Rivers State. Wike himself would not accept this kind of treatment. And on the side of human rights violation, we know how intoxicating an average Nigerian can be, most especially our politicians and the elites when it comes to human rights violation. I think we can do better as a nation. Thank you very much, Mr. Real One. I also have here Yomi Ilori from Ikotun. There's this Yoruba saying that says, I don't have, I'm so sorry. Well, meaning Fubara is weak and can't withstand pressure. It's unfortunate. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Apologize for that one. But I think what he's saying, meaning Fubara is weak and can't withstand pressure. It's unfortunate. And that is Yomi Ilori from Ikotun sharing his own message. Those are the messages that we have on Facebook for now. We also have here James Obuna is saying, Sandra and Fuad, I greet you Christmasly, because next time I'll be hearing your voice will be on Christmas Day. Sandra, I'm struggling to hear one single thing from Comrade Koboko. Okay, all right. On Rivers politics, do you need anyone to tell you that Governor Fubara, no doubt, would have been intimidated by Mr. President and Wike's men at that meeting? Even without Chief David Briggs coming out to tell us, I already knew how such kind of meeting usually looks like. If those lawmakers had crossed from APC to PDP, would the president direct that they should be recognized? Those 8 points directive or mandate should be thrown into the bin, because it was the directive or mandate as if it was a military rule. I support what Rivers elders are doing. Wike's days of relevance and authority are numbered. Mr. President is telling us he's subservient to Wike. We also have Basil Chika saying human rights abuse record is not surprising and could have been questioned if Nigeria don't make list, because even from government, society down to families, there are abuses where government deny you access to healthcare, rights to education, and even right for your vote to count during election, and so on and so forth. Then on Rivers crisis, Governor Fubara chose to take the rubbish. If not, he has all it takes to fight the enemies of his state to a standstill, because he has the people's mandate. And that is Chika Bende from Trade Fair, Lagos. Let's go back to the phone line, 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call. For WhatsApp and text message is 0913-6000-430. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Oh, this man.
Oh, I didn't hear the voice. Madam, good morning.
This is man Ramadan Deji with me here.
Good morning, Madam Ife.
How are you? Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
The government cannot change Christmas, whether they like it or not. It's Christmas, and Nigerians will celebrate in Jesus' name.
Amen.
You see, Fubara, he has to show that he's a Niger Delta man. I don't just understand that guy. That he's just looking at them. They are pushing him here. He's not the father of a family. Why is he behaving like this? This politics is everybody is a politician. You are here a politician. Why don't you show yourself? You are the governor of that place, whether you can like it or not, whether you both inform or you read it, as far as I am concerned, you are taking the holy book and sworn that you are to the allegiance of those people. You are a governor of that state, and you must sit as a governor. The president doesn't even have any authority over you, except you want him to have authority over you. Because when Wike was there, Wike was abusing Buhari, he was abusing Tinubu, he was abusing everybody abusable in APC. So why are you now keeping quiet? Niger Delta blood should flow in you. It should flow in you. That paper and PDP Rivers State should not accept any stakeholder in that state should not accept that agreement. Are you bringing to the 7 states that people who are saying, oh, your mandate, I said, we want to come back. To come back to PDP, when they have already become, they should get to the law courts.
Right.
Tinubu is no constitution, Tinubu is not the law court, go to the law court and fight it out. Good morning. Merry Christmas, immigration.
Thank you very much, Madam Ife. We appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, Sandra, and my brother is here.
All right.
Yeah, human rights abuse is all over the place. Like Peter Oman just said, we are having them in the politics. There is impunity all over the places. That even the judgment that we are having without justice, this human rights abuse that we need to address in Nigeria. When a judge will sit on the case and judge it this way, the same kind of case, and the next time you want to sit on the same another case that is similar from another area in another court,
they judge it another way. Those are human rights abuse. And like the Bible says that judgment will start from the household of God. Let even our judiciary examine themselves about the kind of judgment they are delivering in this electioneering process. It has to do with human rights abuse. They should examine that. They are not accepting what they are handing down to Nigerian masses. Then come to a River State. River State is a big human rights abuse because an executive president cannot be an executive judicial officer, an executive legislator. Because your legislator area, that when some legislator is come to another party, look at I had an issue in Cross River. Many presidents have been said they have lost that seat, and there is no executive president that said, okay, the status quo should anything to bring them back to that seat. So all those things are human rights abuse. Let us, our democracy must work. Let us allow it to work. Let there be rule of law that our president has been shouting when he ruled Lagos for 8 years. If we have mentioned, we will count how many times he mentioned rule of law, more than 1,000. Why is it no more rule of law now that he's an executive president, that he has to be the legislature and the judicial officer?
All right, thank you.
So those are human rights abuse that we should address. It cannot go sacrosanct. We cannot take it any longer.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, Don Peters.
Yes, compliment of the season.
And same to you.
Right. We are talking about human rights abuse in Nigeria. Sandra, are you not seeing absolute power abuse? Absolute power abuse because human rights abuse. That's just the truth. When people who begin to abuse the office they are into, that's power abuse. Then what do you expect their subjects to do? They are learning from their master. If we should start cleaning up, we should start from the top. Look at what the man said from Mr. Briggs from Rivers State. You heard his interview. Mr. President and all his machineries, media machineries, no one have come to debunk what he said. He said it on national television, and no one have ever faulted whatever he said. On the media term, they will say it's an alleged. But the man said it, and he said if anybody, what he said is otherwise, everybody should just come, anybody should come and put him wrong. That is to say, the man is absolutely sure of what he is saying. And it's very dangerous. So every down thing we are talking about here, when we say human rights abuse, but we are seeing an absolute power abuse when the people who are in position to direct our future and everything through the rule of law are thwarting it to their own benefit, to their own political benefit and their own empire benefit. It's unfortunate that the whole of Nigerians are just watching at these people and they are doing this to us. And let me just tell them something, Nigeria something. The future is not looking good if we are to continue in this trajectory. Because believe you me, every down thing we are the people to suffer for it. That's just the truth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Don Peters. I appreciate. I mean, at the end of the day, there's the adage that says if two elephants are fighting, is the grass that suffers, the most. So at the end of the day, it is the people that are suffering. You're welcome into the studio, Fuad.
Thank you, Sandra.
It's been quite an interesting conversation
I was listening
so far. Yes. All right, we have some WhatsApp messages. I'll be back to the phone line in a bit. Let's just quickly run through some of the WhatsApp messages that we have. I have here, good Sandra, good morning. Authentic from Satellite Town. Those transport companies you mentioned, how many buses do they have to meet up people's expectation? That's not the reason.
It's not for everybody. Said it's an intervention.
Exactly. And that's not even the reason why they were selected. They said they had good records That's why they were selected. Anyways, the elders say that when you see a bird dancing, some spirits are beating the drum. Tinubu should be wary of Wike. Wike dealt with Jonathan. People are selling kidney for survival. Governors should deal with food security. Gari today is 1,500 naira per pint. And that is Ifeanyi from Asheshe. God help us. We also have here President Tinubu and Wike, the FCT minister, should allow Governor Sim Fubara and the good people of Rivers to breathe. And that is Ebi Ambo from Badagry. Thank you very much, Ebi Ambo. We appreciate you joining in. I also have good morning all. Okay, there's no name in this message, so we can't attribute it to anyone. I also have a good morning, Mainland Radio. This is Steve Ikelu from Maryland. In Rivers State, whether intimidated by Tinubu or not, Governor Fubara should be bold enough to say no to that contraption called peace deal. Will Nyesom Wike take this rubbish dished out to Fubara if he were in Fubara's position? Fubara should know that this is his only chance he has to exact his authority as a democratically elected governor of Rivers State. If he bungles it, it will be devastating for him and the people of Rivers as a whole. And that is Steve Ikelu, concerned for Fubara's political future in that particular message. I also have good morning, Sandra and Fuhad, on the issue of Sim Fubara signing the document under duress. Fuad, I disagree with you that anybody in the position of Fubara can resist it. Fuad, have you forgotten that Wike knew how Fubara won the election? Have you forgotten that the court is still entertaining their case regarding the opposition who said that Fubara never won? Have you forgotten that Supreme Court today listens to Mr. President before he delivers judgment? Fuad, I want you to understand that Nigeria is not practicing democracy. I weep for my country. James from Agbado Junction.
On the issue of the Supreme Court listening to the those are wild allegations and very wild allegations. Nothing affirmative about it. But I understand your other points and where it's coming from.
Okay. All right. We also have here. Good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. Those who have the opinion that peace will return to Rivers State without Fubara fighting this battle and win is an illusion. Fubara must not implement the agreement. Let him allow constitution and constitutionalism take preeminence. Stephen from Aton Ota in Ogun State. We wish everyone all the best as regards that one. Gege Joshua from Ebute Meta on the issue of human rights violation. Our security agencies inherited this barbaric attitude from the colonial masters and the military regime over the years. It will take time to tackle. On this news about 593. Okay, well, that was not in the paper. That's not a conversation for this morning. But thank you very much. You can take up this particular story, this Emefiele story with Okpeyemi by 4 p.m. It's Friday, it's open mic, so we can have that conversation. We don't want to derail from the focus for the day.
This morning.
Yes, but thank you very much, Gege Joshua from Ebute Meta. We appreciate. Let's go back to the phone line. We'll take one or two calls and wrap things up with messages on Facebook. Hello, good morning. Mainland 98.3 FM.
Yes, my name is Wale. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Wale from Ikeja, please go on.
Okay, one of your callers said we should stop talking about this political
yes,
issue.
That we talk about price of goods.
Yes, we should talk about our food. When Ambode was in the governor, there's a place they give us rice.
Hello? Hello? That's not me.
You see,
I don't know anything about.
We don't talk about political issue, but he said when Ambode was there, politics is the
politics builds governance. So
and governance affects the price of rice and beans.
Politics builds governance. Imagine how governance is in Rivers right now with all of this back and forth. Do we have a state house of assembly? Do we not have a state house of assembly? Who is the governor of our state? Why is the president involved in our state? Do you think the governor will have time for governance in that state? And do you think the people of Rivers State, how do you think they are faring in this particular situation?
And bad governance is the reason why you are complaining about the price of rice, food, and every other thing. So
it's tied together, my brother. It's tied together. Democracy is very, very important to us as a nation. Good morning. Hello? I can't hear anything. Hello, good morning. Hello? Oh, I'm struggling to get it. Is this from my end or what exactly? Hello, good morning. Okay, I think it's from us. Well, we'll get right on that one. Apologies to our callers. Yes, apologies. I think there's a tiny itch there. All right, but we have some messages on Facebook. Let's see what we have. Emmanuel Hudo from Ikeja. Thumbs up to the federal government for the 50% cut in transportation. It shows at least you feel the pulse of the masses. I commend the federal government for that. We also have here Frederick Moka is saying dictocracy in Nigeria. Well, we also have a few WhatsApp messages here. Hello, good morning. Hello. Oh,
hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Please, you have just a minute. You are the last caller for the morning. Please go on.
Well, I want to comment on the river crisis.
All right.
From Mr. Fubara, before we signed that agreement with UK already, we signed agreement with UK already. He forgot to carry the people along. We were going to have the people at heart. Then when we were carrying that contract with UK, it was the team and UK. Nobody was there. He failed to realize that the state is there. So now he failed to honor that agreement before another one had come up. So he said, government, you know the constitutional right. So he said, this is what I want to do. This is what I will do. Why is he saying that he was distributed? He went to government. First time he failed to honor agreement with UK. Second thing, he's coming out to say that I was distributed. This is basic. You are a government, you are a man of yourself. You can speak for yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Everybody seems to have this strong belief in Fubara growing a spine. Oh, well, he has a spine. Apologies for that. Taking a stand as regards this particular, situation. But then, I don't know. And then there are some people on the other hand who said that Wike was instrumental in him becoming governor, and the fact that he was also, one of Wike's principal officers when Wike was governor of Rivers State. Do you think it will be easy for him to stand up to the president and his predecessor?
But the thing is, it's not the first political godson, that has stood up to a godfather that was overbearing. We've had situations like that, and a lot of them have survived. Obaseki was almost going to be having serious issues with Adams Oshiomhole in Edo State. He stood his ground, and I think so far he has survived. And there are people already telling him that if he tries to replicate what he fought against in Edo State, he would also fail. But you don't sound that for me. It's just unfortunate that instead of us talking about real issues of governance, we are here talking about godfathers. We are here talking about strong men in politics. We are here talking about former governors who, a lot of them, who had all their hands in the state treasury, who have now metamorphosed into political giants, and then suddenly they just want to hold everybody down. If you look at the history of Wike, for example, how did it all start? To the point now we now have a Wike who has now built himself so strong to the point where the state is now supposed to be like his personal belonging. It's unfortunate, and that's why I say that, look, if this is the thinking pattern of the highest level of governance in Nigeria, then I have my fears about democracy in the country.
Thank you very much for
Thank you for having me.
That's where we are as a people now. Well, that's all for this morning on Mainland Focus, but of course the Morning Express continues, and coming up next is AgView Half Hour, and then after that we have Health Plus with Sage Babalola. So stay with us. My name still remains Omobola Sandra. Thank you, Said Fuad.
Thank you for
and just
having
as we always say here at Mainland FM, the conversation continues with ᴑᴏᴜ Akinode by 4 p.m. in the Situation Room. It's Open Mic Friday, so all of the conversation conversations or all of the topics that you didn't have the opportunity to discuss on radio all through the week. It's time for you to come out and have that conversation with Okwe by 4 p.m. In the meantime, also join Saheed Fuhad on Sunday for more political discourse by 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's going to be an interesting one. It's Christmas Eve as well. I don't know if Fuhad has anything in store for anybody, but
for Christmas.
Yes, no.
Why not? I'll be celebrating with my Christian friends.
All right, but then please stay with us.
At least I'll eat chicken.